It's heating up, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We got so many things to get into. In this video, we got Katy Perry saying something, admitting to something kind of weird. We'll get into that. We got a sort of a bidding war going on with Warner Brothers and Paramount and Netflix. We'll get into that. We have our president doing a secret move, and it's going against one of our previous presidents. And he, by the way, the previous, I'll show you that in a minute, just left the country. We'll get into that. We got also our president. We got a ton of stuff. We got so much stuff. Let's just get into this. Let's start here. We got here, Katy Perry speaks out about her new romance with Justin Trudeau. He's low-key, freaky as blank. Like, I get scared sometimes. I see all these weird posts. This, of course, is from Poo Crave. What? Is this a different account? I thought it was Pop Crave. Poo Crave? What's going on here? What is this? Oh, they got a lot of followers. Apparently it ain't Pop Crave. Yeah, this is kind of interesting because she also came out and had some weird videos with him. He's still married to another woman. All this is kind of weird. So the leader, we're talking of Canada, now apparently not even divorced, and he's with another woman and making weird cringe videos like this here.
My first date.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
I wonder what your wife thinks about that, Justin. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, you have here this woman, Katy Perry. I don't even understand what she does at her concerts. It's so bizarre. People throwing phones at her now, apparently. What is this? I mean, she does these really bizarre running and awkward dance moves after she went up into space, and now apparently people throw cell phones at her. This is the latest thing that she does. I don't get it, man. I don't understand it at all. We have Hassan Piker now joining in on the roast of himself, dressing like Mao. Literally, he's now dressing like Mao all the time. He loves China. China doesn't love him. He dresses like Mao, and now he's mocking himself. Check this out. It's pretty funny.
What do you want to leave behind in 2025? I said, I don't want to say this in too close proximity to Ron, but nuisance streaming and clip baiting.
Like Jack Doherty, though, right? Not me, right?
I mean, you do it in a more like PG-13 kind of way.
I do it in a friendly troll way, Hassan, bro. You know me, bro. We went to parties together. You know what I'm saying? We've been places.
You keep it up, I'm going to put the collar on you.
I knew it. Come on,
dude.
you know me.
Exactly, man. So you got the collar. He's finally admitting that he shocked his dog. So you got that video there. Then we got this. This is insane. Check this out.
15-year-old who has been arrested 111
What?
15-year-old who has been arrested
No.
111 times since August of 2023.
Are you kidding me?
Arrests
2 years.
included 55
How many? So 55 people have had their car fucked with because of this kid?
car thefts and stealing from cars 45 times. At one point, police found
This is
multiple
crazy.
guns on the teen and took a phone as evidence. They say they found various Google searches on it, including, what is the charge for killing an officer?
What the heck, man? This is a 15-year-old, man. This is insane. I mean, if I could imagine a 15-year-old having to go to prison, this might be the kind of guy you'd want. Definitely to go to prison. The way he's acting is absolutely insane. I mean, what's going on with their society? You got these kind of weird stories coming out all the time now. People getting into some insane amount of crime, getting away with it. Just let him out. Don't actually do anything with the guy. 55 cars stolen. It's insane. And of course, that's just with the younger generation. You have some of that going on. You have also big tech, apparently, is now trying to milk you dry of all your money. Check this out.
It used to be tech companies would pretend like they were trying to do a good thing for the world. Now they're just openly investing in hyper gamification products in order to squeeze every last dime out of you. Introducing, ladies and gentlemen, Covered, which was invested in by A16Z's Speedrun. And they say we disrupt personal finance through gamification, starting by letting people bet against their bills.
Disrupt personal finance. Now check out what this is all about. He'll explain it.
Guys, you can now gamble on your credit card balance. If you're lucky enough and you win,
What the hell? So it's like it's basically like going to Vegas. You're already in debt, and you're like, okay, I want to borrow a little bit more money. I'm gonna dig myself out of this hole. That's literally what this is. You got your credit card balance, and you can gamble it for worse credit card balance. Apparently, hilariously evil.
may get out of debt. If not, they're going to drive you further into it.
Welcome to Cover.
You're going to have guys come into your house with bats to, break your kneecaps, I guess. I don't know. What is this? You got Visa and MasterCard are now mafia.
Everyday finances become fun and rewarding. First.
Yeah, you're going to send a mafia boss to my house if I don't pay up, right? What the heck's going on here, dude? This is getting insane. The amount of interest on these loans. Now they're literally acting like they're mafia bosses, trying to make you gamble your own debt. I mean, what's next, right? You got Paramount just dropped a full-blown hostile bid for Warner Brothers, a massive $108 billion all-cash offer meant to shut down Netflix's $72.5 billion move. Now, this sounds just like some boring ho-hum thing until you learn who is behind Netflix and who is behind Paramount. Okay, this is pretty crazy. Guess what? The president's son-in-law is behind Paramount, and Obama is behind Netflix. You literally have a president going against a former president with media takeovers now. All right, that's what this is all about. Okay, you got Jared Kushner helping to finance the Paramount's hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. This is kind of curious. Kushner's firm Affinity Partners, 3 involved Gulf funds, have agreed to forego any governance rights, including board representation associated with the non-voting equity investments. This is kind of interesting. It looks like our president is trying to get into getting in our media sort of freed up. You saw kind of what Elon did. Perhaps this is another game plan to take out Netflix's bid, which, of course, Barack and Michelle, higher ground production, unchecked power over your kids' favorite classics, other shows as well. Obviously, Wokeville, rainbows everywhere. The question is, do we want more of that? Of course not. Obviously, if Netflix buys it, it's probably just going to run it into the ground, right? We've seen what's going on with Hollywood. I already covered it. I showed a clip of Mel Gibson explaining why Hollywood Los Angeles is completely empty, like a ghost town. Whole studio shut down. The explosion of woke has utterly destroyed Hollywood. I don't think Netflix wants to buy it when they know that they're going to just run it into the ground anyways. You have here Obama himself apparently moved to the UK. Barack was just spotted again in London, UK, leaving his recently purchased multi-million-dollar home. Not only recently purchased this home in the UK, they have also moved a large chunk of their assets into the country with the federal indictment, of course, related to his leadership role. This is interesting. It looks like he's doing the same thing all these Hollywood elites are doing. You had Ellen DeGeneres, Tom Hanks, just a ton of them, all leaving the country for various countries like Greece or the UK or whatever. You had Rosie O'Donnell as well, and actually a lot of other ones, all leaving the country. And now you got these guys. They're actually getting a little concerned. Will this thing go somewhere? Well, they wouldn't be probably leaving the country if they thought nothing was going to happen. Oh, there we go. There he is. Look, he looks almost as orange as our current president. Actually, which is kind of funny because I have a clip where our president looks really orange. Well, this one made him look less orange, but there was ones that looked way worse than this. It looks like Obama there is looking pretty orange himself. Yeah, look at this one. This one looks crazy orange. Look at that. Obviously, you can see the background looks wrong too, a little bit, but It looks like Obama's looking the same way. Look how orange he looks, man. What the heck's going on there? Is there some weird makeup for presidents I don't know about? I don't know. Kind of strange considering the fact that they look the same color skin-wise. Weird. I don't know. It's really weird. Anyway, we're going to get into a ton of stuff. I got so much stuff to show you, my friends. First, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 4 months worth for $6.97. You're going to definitely want to get that if you have not already. Link is in the description of this book. As well, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. If Obama is leaving the country, if all these Hollywood elites are leaving the country, if studios are shutting down, maybe they're expecting something to happen. And do you think they're going to just go into the wind and just like, oh, shucks, you got me? You know, I don't think they're going to do that. They might do something a lot worse than that. Might want to get this just in case. Get the printed version, $37. And, of course, go check out all my other social media. Link below. We have here a prediction from Troy Black. And it actually seems kind of weird. He gets so many of these things right, man. He's got like over 100 that he's documented correct. And I just showed you how our president looks like he's getting involved in Paramount / buying up, what was it? It's called Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery. Looks like he's getting involved with this. And we have Troy Black here predicting some sort of weird financial move from our president. Is he got a lot of weird stuff lined up to turn this whole thing around? Check this out.
I don't know what that means. A market show, a steady started. Maybe it started when I heard it. Then I heard sporadic yet steady upflows, a dramatic shift, unplanned and unparalleled. And so then I heard this, a trilateral event. I don't know what that means. A market show, a steady flow. And then I heard this is a dramatic event.
Okay, this actually makes sense to me. It's so weird. Like, I find stuff, my researcher finds things, and then I notice, like, sometimes the day before, sometimes the same day, Troy will have some prediction that actually relates to what we discovered that a lot of people didn't even see. Could this whole trilateral thing have something to do with Qatar, investments with apparently those on our side? I'm not quite sure. Of course, some are saying this is evil. There's some evil thing going on here with Qatar. Maybe there's something good coming out of it too. I don't know. It looks like there could be. I mean, it looks like a better person to purchase than Netflix. I don't know if you want Obama planning out all your kids' shows. It sounds a lot worse than someone from allegedly our side. I mean, Jared's not exactly on our side, really. Not really. You know what I mean? But he's better. He's better. It's less bad. At least it's less bad, right? I guess that's a good way to put it. And so I think that this, at least it's in the right direction. You know what I mean? It's obviously better than the other side having it all for themselves. We have Sylvester Stallone here talking about our president in a recent clip. Check this out.
You described President Trump as the second George Washington after the election.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I think he's an extraordinary man. This is the toughest job in the world, and it's really easy for people to be critical, and I get it. I mean, you are, because we're dealing with tremendous confrontation around the world. But I still, and I said it last night, I think he's an extraordinary human being. The one thing that people don't realize, and I've known him for 30 years, he's very, very gracious. Like, he'll remember your kids' names. He'll call, like, during a serious situation. He goes, oh, how's your mother? How's she doing? You know, little things. And no one knows about that. That's why the fellow I know is quite different than the way he's reported about. But I like the man a lot.
That's some good points, man. I mean, he's a real guy. He's a real human being. He's a family man. Obviously, you can see how his kids turned out. They turned out much better than a lot of other people's kids, Hollywood or political. We've seen some of it. The kids kind of tell you a lot. Tells you how the parenting is, right? Obviously, he's a stand-up guy. Seems to got some clever tricks up his sleeve. May not be the way we want him to do it all the time. Clearly, he makes lots of mistakes. We've seen them all. Particularly of recent, he's not been doing the best. But if he has some weird plan in the mix here to somehow turn this around. You know what I mean? Some little bit of financial magic. That would be great. If you can, by the way, expanded powers. Might be able to get rid of the Fed now, too. That was a new thing that just came out. And we'll get into that in a little bit. I wanted to show you what's going on in the UK, in Europe, and what our president had to respond to it. Check this out.
Ex-footballer Joey Barton just got whacked with a massive conviction and only narrowly avoided prison time over offensive jokes made on social media.
For each of these offences, I impose a suspended sentence order of 18 months duration. On counts 2 and 4, the racially aggravated offences.
So of course, they're not as bad as they sound. Check this out.
Racially aggravated. This was in the context of comments Barton made about the commentator Eni Aluko. Sounds really extreme, must have been quite bad. So I researched what Barton actually said about Aluko, thinking I'd missed something. I didn't. This is what he said. Barton posted that Aluko was only there to tick boxes.
Obviously, DEI initiatives are a load of shite. Is that how they say it there? Affirmative action stemming from BLM and other nonsense related to it. This is one of the 2 aggravated counts, apparently. So really didn't say anything that, I mean, he's just pointing out facts, kind of. I mean, honestly, he's just pointing out it was like affirmative action type stuff a little bit. And they're saying that's racist to say that. So he apparently narrowly, and this guy's an ex-professional soccer player. He said football or soccer player. Obviously, they think football is soccer. We say soccer, they say football. You know what I mean? In the UK, so this is pretty crazy. You imagine, like, you know, some top player in football getting in trouble for saying something like this online. That's just absolutely insane. And this is what our president had to say in response to some of the things like this.
It's pretty amazing. You're talking about, is that European Union? Or is it, who did that? European Union or UK?
Yeah, European Commission.
Whoa, that's a nasty one. I don't know. Elon has not called me to ask for help on that one. But no.
This is a fine towards X, I believe. So it's in the same ball field.
No, that's a tough thing. I don't think it's right. No, I don't think it's right. I don't see, you know, how they can do that. No. I'll speak about it later. I'm going to get a full report on it. Look, Europe has to be very careful. They're doing a lot of things. We want to keep Europe. Europe is going in some bad directions. It's very bad. Very bad for the people.
You might say it's going the wrong direction, just maybe a little bit. Yeah, or a lot of bit, actually. And with some good news, though, with regards to our country, is the Supreme Court on Monday seemed likely to expand presidential control over independent federal agencies like the Fed, signaling support for a president firing of board members. Jerome Powell. This is some good news. Of course, though, I would like them to literally get rid of the Fed entirely, put the dollar back on the gold standard. That will be a hell of a lot better than just firing Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, that will barely help you financially. It will help you some, but it wouldn't help you a lot. Might be able to afford a home again, barely. You get rid of the Fed and put the dollar back on the gold standard, you're going to be able to afford everything. That's what we really need to do. I'm hoping he goes far beyond just firing Jerome Powell. He's made moves that make me think that he may get rid of the Fed with the nuclear option in the Senate. A lot of the things he's been doing of recent, I don't know if it's too big of a thing to chew off or whatever. Or what's the bit off more than you can chew? I don't know if it's something like that. If that's possible, he could pull it off. That would be so awesome if he did. That would be, honestly, that would put him at as one of the top presidents. If he pulls off just getting rid of the Fed, putting the dollar back in the gold standard, that alone will put him at the top as one of the best presidents ever. That alone. Okay? I mean, seriously. And, I mean, there's a lot of things he could do. I really hope he does that. Then you got this story here. Benny Johnson counters Milo's feud with family photos. So Milo has been making a lot of insane accusations against a lot of people on the right, saying they're all gay, doing weird stuff. even faking. He's been faking a lot of stuff. He's been just spreading rumors and gossip, straight up lies, honestly. And it's been going viral. And a lot of people are not even checking what he's saying. Like, he put out a picture of an article of Benny Johnson allegedly writing something that looked a little sus, and he didn't write it at all. Actually, he photoshopped it and changed the name of who wrote it. Okay? This is the kind of stuff he does. He puts out all this fake information, Milo does. He put out another fake thing about a court trial about Nick, the guy I just covered over my other channel, Nick, the one I went on Piers Morgan, saying that he's one of those, of course, feds, right? And then, of course, in the actual court documents, it shows that he's under oath said, I've never talked to or done anything with them. So it would be perjury if he was lying. Yet Milo straight up lied about it, said it was in the court documents, and it wasn't. It was literally the opposite of what he said. So Milo keeps doing this stuff. He keeps calling people. First, he called Benny gay, did a bunch of gay stuff. Then he said he does swinging with his wife. No proof added, no proof shown anywhere. Trying to completely destroy Benny Johnson's image. Benny Johnson puts out a photo. I know this is going to trigger some people, but here is my family. We're happy. They're miserable. That's why we win. I don't believe these stories about it. I think Benny isn't gay. I mean, goodness gracious, he's got 4 kids there. And they're like literally a year apart. But Milo, of course, has went out and he's causing chaos everywhere, saying a lot of really disgusting things. Honestly. Then we got this story about Jordan Peterson. Apparently, his daughter, Michaela here, has come back, said dad is back home out of the hospital. He's still not doing well, but he's not doing as badly as he was. Prayers are still much appreciated. Thank you for everyone that has commented and reached out. It makes a lot of difference. We still don't know 100% what's going on, but we have great specialists. We're waiting, hoping, and praying. I honestly think it's spiritual. I've seen a lot of this insanity of recent. I mean, I've seen it everywhere. Me, my friends, just like people online, everywhere. It seems like there's spiritual, stuff going on all the time, attacks all the time. It's gotten worse and worse every year. I think this is what he's literally going through. I think it's spiritual. I mean, it might manifest in the physical, but I think it's spiritual. I think Jordan Peterson's done a lot of great work. He's not a perfect man. He's got a lot of really interesting stuff he's presented online that I think are very relevant. He's one of the first people to say, we can't remove Christianity from our society or society will crumble. The foundation of our society is Christianity. I mean, he put out some amazing stuff over the years. I don't agree with everything he says. He does have some bad takes on things, but he has put out some really great stuff that definitely moved us forward as a culture, I think.
Brief update on my dad, because I know a lot of you have reached out and asked and have been waiting for one, as have we, obviously. I don't have a lot to say because everything's been slow. He's still very unwell, but he's not in the hospital. I'm seeing him every day for hours, which is really nice. We're working with great specialists and giving him more time to recover. I'm hopeful he will recover with time. When I posted the last video, I didn't know if he would recover at all. It was really scary, and I'm hopeful now, but it's still early on, and he's still quite unwell.
So I'm really thinking this is spiritual. I mean, and a lot of people don't think about this concept. It's in Scripture called pharmakia, where you can actually have spiritual tied to the physical, particularly with drugs and things that are given to you. And you can see it can be in your food. Look at the story of Hansel and Gretel. Of course, obviously a bedtime story from when you were a kid. Hansel and Gretel, they go to this house. They see this candy house. Oh, it looks so good. Eat the candy off the... And of course, this candy is not normal candy. Could this be like our food? We have, basically, you and I are Hansel and Gretel, and we're going to the supermarket, and it's like the witch's house. We're eating the candy. You see what I mean? Same idea. You look at what you eat, and obviously Michaela would understand this because she eats only meat, because she had so many weird, allergies and stuff, right? She had a ton of allergies. She is a carnivore because of all the weird stuff. And I found out myself. Now I'm allergic to a bunch of stuff. I'm not the same as her. I can still eat a lot of other things besides meat. But I mean, a lot of the things I'm allergic to, are things that shouldn't be in the food in the first place. Like all these weird preservatives they put in them. And seed oils. I'm literally allergic to all these things. I mean, I get inflamed and stuff from it. So maybe that's the Hansel and Gretel, the witch's house, right? You're eating the candy off the witch's house. That's the seed oils. That's the preservatives in our food. Then you got to look at the medicine. What if you're going to the witch to get healed? Oh, look, I'm just a scientist. While she's doing weird stuff to you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm trying to say. I mean, these stories have an element of truth to them. When you can make a ton of money off someone who's sick, more so than someone who's well. So you can easily make lots more money if the person stays sick. Makes a very financial incentive to not exactly heal you all the way, especially if you can do it for very cheap. In some cases, something to think about. And look how expensive our medical institutions are. Then we got this story. This is from Tim Pool. This is really bizarre. This guy's name's Shane Cashman, and it reminded me of my friend Sean Wallace. I do live streams here on YouTube with him. Back when he was in college, he had a time where he was just quoting scripture nonstop. Like, that's all he would do. Like, someone asked him a question, he would find a verse that related and he would quote it to him. And he was doing this in college because the professors were like atheists or secularists, and they would have weird things they would say, and then he would just quote a verse, and it would drive people nuts. This is what the Shane guy did on Tim Pool. This is pretty funny. Check this out.
Given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. It's from 2 Timothy 1:7. A lot.
Wow, Shane, that was powerful. Thanks for saying that.
I feel like Shane has been quiet, and I'm curious your thoughts on not just to say like, hey, everything that's going on we're talking about, but just like where we're going.
I just feel compelled to say, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, and will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus.
I asked Raymond. I think personally, and again, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I think anyone who thinks they have a relationship with God has an extremely huge ego. I think we're all specks of sand to the real prime creator, and the only time he's going to deal with us is when we pass on to the next lifetime. Then he judges us. We all will be judged. I don't see any point of the worship or any of this other
I will
stuff.
say then, submit yourselves to therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not.
I will say then, and give no opportunity to the devil. Ephesians 4:27.
Oh, I mean, listen, you can read a book that's 2,000
I will
years
say,
old,
whoever makes a practice of sinning is of the devil, and for the devil has been sinning from the beginning. The reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the works of the devil. 1 John 3.
Brother, for 2,000 years, people thought Jesus was coming back, and he still isn't there. So what does that make all those people who died waiting for him?
This is interesting. Of course, I covered this recently here on YouTube, that actually he did come back in 66 AD, and no Christians know about it, really. I actually commented on it on this video and actually quoted all the different sources from historians saying he came back in 66 AD. Jesus said to the high priest, "You will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven." Kind of hard for the high priest to see him coming on the clouds of heaven if he's dead for 2,000 years. Makes a little bit more sense if he was still alive and saw it. Like, for example, all these historically documented evidences that it did happen. Historian Flavius Josephus, on the 21st day of the month, Artemis, a certain prodigious and incredible phenomenon appeared. I suppose the account of it would seem to be a fable, were it not related by those that saw it, and were not the events that followed it of so considerable of a nature as to deserve such signals. For before sun setting, chariots and troops of soldiers in their armor were seen running about among the clouds surrounding the cities, talking about Judea. Literally, he says, "You'll see me coming on the clouds of heaven." Now here, Tacitus, secular historian, in the sky appeared a vision of armies of conflict of glittering armor. Then you got Pseudo Hegesippus, a certain figure appeared of tremendous size, which many saw, just as the books of the Jews have disclosed. And before the setting of the sun, there was suddenly seen in the clouds, chariots in the clouds, armed battle arrays by which the cities of all Judea and the territories, of course, were invaded. Then you got medieval Jewish historian Sefer Eusebion, Moreover, in those days were seen chariots of fire, horsemen, a great force flying across the sky near the ground, coming, of course, against Jerusalem and all the land, Judea, all of them horses of fire, riders of fire. And it literally says in another verse that there'll be angels of fire with him in the clouds. So you have chariots of fire, angels of fire, you have a giant man in front of it, all documented in several historical books by notable, all famous historians, including secular ones, clearly indicating he did come back just as he said he would, and the high priest would see him on the clouds, as he said. So, no, you didn't have to wait 2,000 years. You had to wait 36 years instead of 2,000 years to see it. That doesn't mean he ain't coming back again. Of course he is. But the point is that it already happened. Just as he said, behold, I come quickly. That means quickly, not 2,000 years. Like quickly means 36 years. That sounds pretty quick to me. I think that was actually the answer that no one knows about. Why does no one know this? It's literally in historical books. Your pastor has this book on his bookshelf in his den, and he doesn't know this. Flavius Josephus is probably in almost every pastor's library that studies Scripture. It's so ridiculous no one knows this. Of course, I thought it was kind of funny they had the sign "Don't be gay" on behind them. I wonder if that was related to Milo somehow. I don't know, because Milo was on there recently, and Milo says that he's no longer gay or something. I don't know. At any rate, then you got this. This video went viral as well. This is the last thing I wanted to get into, I think. A woman talking about how a verse was removed from Scripture. And this is interesting. Check this out.
Video about her Bibles. She had a few sitting in front of her. And she said that she went down a rabbit hole and noticed that some of her Bibles didn't have a verse in it. I have 3 Bibles sitting in front of me right now, and they're all page marked, okay? The verse that she's referring to is Matthew 17:21. And the verse actually says in so many words that in order for you to heal yourself, now this is Jesus saying this, okay? Fasting and prayer. That's what the Bible verse says. It's Matthew 17:21. So I go through the 3 Bibles that I have. One is very old, 2 are slightly newer. Okay, this is the NIV. This is the newest Bible that I have. Okay, so we got Matthew 17. Let's pan over. Okay, 20. And would you look at that? Skips to 22. It doesn't even have a 21. See? It says 21. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing there. It's in parentheses. Okay, that's the newest one. Okay, this is Holy Bible, another NIV. This one's older, though. This is the one where it's in red. If you don't know, red is what Jesus speaks, okay? So we're in Matthew. Let's go down to 17. Okay, it starts healing a boy with a demon. You go down. It's 20. Would you look at that? Skips to 22, okay? This is the oldest one I have. This is a KIV. Okay, here we are. I know it's small.
KJV.
This one has it. Matthew 17:21. Howbeit, this kind of goeth not out but by prayer and fasting.
Right.
Do you know how important that is? It's this small line. Think about what that verse is telling you.
Right.
In order to heal diseases, you need to pray and fast.
It was also about diseases and, well, potentially, and possession, I think, in this case, for the man. I don't know. It might have been a disease as well. I'm not sure. I don't remember the exact context. But at any rate, this is because, of course, the King James and the NIV use slightly different manuscripts when they translate, and they're saying that the older manuscripts don't have this verse in it. And if you go to Google and just check the AI, it will talk about this a little bit. I've seen this before. I knew about this a long time ago. A certain type of demonic presence can only be driven out by prayer and fasting. Often following Jesus's. No, it's actually not Jesus's failure. It was the disciples' failure. This thing's not even writing it right. Following the failure of the disciples' inability to heal a boy. That's what it was. So it's a form of spiritual warfare. Fasting draws you closer to God. Maybe that gives you greater faith. And maybe that's how some are speculating that this works, is to have greater faith. You have to sometimes get closer. Fasting is a good way to get closer. There's other ways you could look at it as well. But the point is that they had lack of faith. When they healed the boy, And of course, this is not the only time this has happened. I mean, there's a lot of verses that are missing. I mean, you got, well, I wouldn't say it that way, but the book of, as I've talked about before, the book of Esther, the last chapter was removed, put in the Apocrypha about Mordecai's dream. I've talked about that numerous times on my channel. I think there are a couple other verses that were removed, kind of like this as well. I don't think it's just Matthew 17:21. I think there's a couple other ones like this as well. There's some manuscripts don't have the verse or whatever. But it's interesting that she, you know, a lot of people don't know about this. And so this went viral on X. And I think it is relevant because honestly, I think it's very relevant. Why did they remove the entire Apocrypha from the Bible? Look at the original King James Bible. It had multiple more books in it that it doesn't have now. You see what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that was removed. People are completely unaware. And there's on top of that, when they translate it, do they translate it correctly in all cases? That's another factor, which I've covered as well on video. At any rate, that's my video. I kind of want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.